Every morning, life offers you a silent invitation, not to rush, not to achieve, but to awaken. In the teachings of the Buddha, transformation doesn't arrive through force. It begins with awareness, with a breath, with a single, intentional step. In today's journey, we explore 7 sacred daily practices drawn from Buddhist wisdom, gentle yet powerful steps to help you live with more clarity, stillness, and strength. This isn't a to-do list. It's a way of being, a path home to your truest self. So take a breath. Settle in. Let us begin. In the stillness of each new dawn lies a subtle invitation, not to hustle, not to strive, but to awaken. In the teachings of the Buddha, self-improvement is not about sculpting a perfect version of ourselves. It is about remembering. It is about removing the dust that clouds our true nature and returning, moment by moment, to the clarity that has always been within us. The journey is not one of striving forward, it is one of returning inward. This is the art of coming home to the present. And the present is not something to be earned. It is something to be remembered. True transformation in Buddhism does not arrive with great fanfare or dramatic change. It is not found in noisy declarations or external milestones. It is found in the way we open our eyes in the morning, the way we walk across a quiet floor, the thoughts we choose to water before the world begins to demand our attention. One breath, one choice, one mindful step. Let these 7 daily practices guide you, not through ambition, but through awareness. 1. Build a morning that builds you. How you greet the morning is how you greet your life. The Buddha taught that our thoughts are seeds. Each morning, you plant. Each day, you water. What grows depends not on how fast you run, but on what you choose to cultivate. When you wake up and reach for your phone, checking messages, opening news feeds, absorbing the chaos of the outside world, you surrender your clarity before you've even spoken a word. You allow external noise to shape your internal state. This is not awakening. This is forgetting. Instead, honor the sacredness of the morning. See it as a threshold, a narrow bridge between the silence of sleep and the noise of the world. Wake slowly. Let your first breath be one of intention. Sit for a moment, even just one. Place your feet on the floor as if you were placing them on the earth with reverence. Listen, not to your notifications, but to yourself. How do you feel? What is present in your body? What emotions are stirring? This is not a performance, it is a presence. Then move gently, stretch, walk. Allow energy to circulate like a stream waking beneath snow. Movement is not about exercise here, it is about awareness. Feed your mind with what nourishes the soul. Read a passage from a Dharma book. Listen to soft chants. Write a few words in your journal. Offer a small prayer of gratitude. This is how you tend to the garden of the mind before the storms arrive. In Buddhism, this is cultivating right intention, the first bricks of right action. A mindful morning does not need to be long. It needs to be honest. It must be your temple before the world's marketplace opens. Build a morning that fills you with lightness and strength, with quiet and care. From that foundation, the rest of your day becomes a path, not a puzzle. 2. Set one intention, not 50. The world today is filled with noise, digital, mental, emotional. Most people wake up and are immediately pulled into 1,000 directions, emails, tasks, goals, errands, expectations. The mind, untrained, chases everything and catches nothing. But the Buddha taught ekaggata, single-pointedness, the power of focus, the discipline of presence. Instead of attempting to conquer a mountain of obligations, Choose one hill to climb today. Ask yourself, with sincerity, what single intention shall guide me today? Perhaps, today I will speak with gentleness. Today I will focus fully on one task. Today I will return to my breath when I feel overwhelmed. This one intention becomes your compass. It brings clarity when confusion arises. It gives strength when fatigue creeps in. It simplifies your choices and illuminates your path. Buddhist monks rise with a gata, a verse of intention for the day. This is not poetry. This is practice. One intention, held with care, can accomplish more than 50 tasks done in distraction. It's not about doing less. It's about living more fully in what you do. As the Buddha said, better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace. So too, one conscious intention, deeply lived, brings more transformation than a crowded checklist ever could. 3. Break the pattern, not yourself. Many people move through life not with freedom but with repetition. Same reactions, same regrets, same quiet suffering beneath the surface. They wonder, what's wrong with me? But Buddhism answers differently. Nothing is wrong with you. What's wrong is the pattern. Patterns are grooves in the mind. When repeated, they deepen. If we do not interrupt them, they become the shape of our lives. But in Buddhism, we are taught paticca samuppada, dependent origination. Everything arises based on conditions. And what arises can also cease if we change the conditions. So when you feel stuck, don't blame yourself. Don't push harder. Don't punish yourself with shame. Instead, observe. Gently. Wisely. If you usually wake with anxiety, try stillness. If you normally respond with irritation, try silence. If you often fill your day with noise, try choosing quiet. Small interruptions in a harmful pattern open the door to something new. That door doesn't need to be kicked open, it needs to be noticed. In Buddhism, the practice is not to fight your mind but to understand it. Not to break yourself apart, but to soften the edges of habit. Through mindfulness, you begin to see not only what you do, but why. And when you see the why clearly, the how to change becomes gentle and obvious. Let awareness be your tool, not willpower. You are not broken, you are becoming. 4. Don't track time, track energy. In our modern culture, productivity is often worshipped. We count hours, we set alarms, we measure everything in minutes and milestones. But in the Dhamma, time is not what defines progress, presence is. You may sit on your cushion for 30 minutes, but if your mind is wandering the entire time, have you truly meditated? You may spend 8 hours working on a task, but if you're distracted and drained, what have you truly created? Now consider this. Have you ever had a single hour, just one, where you felt alive, focused, and fully present? In that hour, more beauty unfolded, more clarity emerged, more peace was felt than in days spent rushing. This is the essence of Buddhist teaching. Energy matters more than time. The Buddha himself lived simply, but every word, every step, every silence carried profound presence. He did not hurry, but his impact echoed through centuries. Begin to observe your own energy cycles. Notice when you feel open, clear, and calm. That is sacred ground. Use it well. Schedule your most meaningful work or reflection during that window. It may be early morning. It may be evening. It may be after a walk. And when your energy is low, don't push. That only creates more suffering. Rest. Reflect. Move slowly. You're not being lazy. You're being wise. Also notice What drains you? What or who makes your body tense, your breath shallow, your thoughts scatter? Energy is subtle, but it speaks. When you listen, you begin to make choices that honor your inner life, not just your outer image. So stop asking, how many hours did I spend? Start asking, how deeply did I show up? In the Dharmapada, it is said, even a moment of pure awareness is greater than a life lived in distraction. Productivity is not about doing more, it's about being more present in what you do. 5. Audit your environment without mercy. In the forest monasteries of Thailand or the Zen temples of Japan, great care is taken with the environment. The spaces are not lavish, but they are intentional, sparse, clean, uncluttered. Why? Because environment shapes consciousness. You may have noble goals, strong values, and good intentions, but if your surroundings are filled with noise, chaos, distractions, or negativity, your growth will suffer. As the Buddha taught, everything arises in dependence. That includes your state of mind. Look around you. Is your room a space of peace or a source of agitation? Do your possessions bring clarity or confusion? Does your digital world steal your attention or serve your path? Buddhism teaches mindfulness of the senses, not just in meditation, but in daily living. What enters through your eyes, ears, and mind becomes part of your inner world. If you're constantly surrounded by noise, whether visual, mental, or emotional, you're sowing restlessness into your mind. Begin with the physical. Clean your space not for aesthetics, but for energy. Let every item you keep have a purpose. Let your room reflect your aspiration, not your cluttered thoughts. Then look at your digital environment. Audit it mercilessly. Silence the noise. Unfollow what drains you. Create boundaries between your sacred time and the online world. Have places and times where your phone is simply not allowed. And perhaps most challenging of all, examine your emotional environment. Are the people around you supportive, or do they feed gossip, fear, and distraction? Buddhist compassion is not blind. It is clear. You can love someone and still know they are not right for your path at this time. This clarity is not cruelty, it is kindness to your own journey. Finally, look within. Your inner environment, your thoughts, your beliefs, your self-talk. Do you treat yourself with kindness or criticism? Do you speak to your own mind like a friend or an enemy? Audit it all, without guilt, without shame, but with truth. Because in Buddhism, we don't build a better life by force. We build it by creating the conditions for wisdom, peace, and compassion to arise naturally. So clear the clutter, protect your energy, create space for your truest self to breathe and unfold. Let your environment reflect your aspiration. Let your space become your temple. 6. Turn discipline into your love language. Discipline. To many, it sounds like restriction, punishment, or something cold and joyless. But in Buddhism, Silar, translated as discipline or moral conduct, is one of the foundations of the Eightfold Path. It is not harsh. It is not rigid. It is not about forcing yourself to become someone else. It is an expression of love. Imagine a parent caring for their child, setting gentle rules, keeping them safe, guiding them with compassion. Discipline, in its highest form, is how you parent your own spirit. It says, I care about my life. I honor my time. I protect my peace. I want to grow, not through fear, but through devotion. So how do we transform discipline from a burden into a sacred practice? We start by shifting our perspective. Instead of saying, I have to, we begin saying, I get to. I get to wake up early to meditate. I get to move my body because I respect this vessel. I get to say no to distractions because my attention is precious. I get to create structure because structure is what supports freedom. Discipline is not about saying no to pleasure, it's about saying yes to purpose. When practiced with mindfulness and self-compassion, discipline becomes a joy, not a jail. It means keeping your promises to yourself. It means returning to your breath, even when your mind wanders. It means making space for what truly matters, even when the world offers endless temptation to escape it. And it's not about being perfect. The Buddha never taught perfectionism. He taught the middle way, a path between extremes, a path where discipline is balanced by gentleness, where commitment walks beside kindness. So if you fall off track, don't punish yourself. Return with grace. Every moment is a doorway back to your practice. Over time, your rituals become sacred, your boundaries become loving, your schedule becomes your sanctuary. What once felt like discipline now feels like freedom. And in that freedom, you begin to meet the strongest, clearest, most awakened version of yourself, not through pressure, but through alignment. Let your discipline be a vow of love, a quiet, daily way of saying, I am worthy of a life well lived, and I will shape it, one choice at a time. 7. Reflect before you rest. We live in a world that is always running, always clicking, always scrolling. We fill our days with movement, noise, and distraction, and then collapse into sleep. Minds still spinning, hearts still carrying the weight of the day. But the Buddha taught the value of vipassana, clear seeing, insight, the wisdom that comes from pausing and looking inward. And one of the most powerful times to practice this is at the end of the day. Before you sleep, before you drift away into dreams, sit quietly, breathe, turn your gaze inward, not with judgment, but with gentle awareness. Ask yourself, how did I show up today? Was I present? Did I speak with kindness? What made my heart expand? What caused it to close? What can I release? What can I carry forward with grace? This is mindful closure. It doesn't take long, just a few minutes, but it changes everything. Instead of ending the day with noise, you end it with wisdom. Instead of carrying regret into sleep, you release it with breath. Reflection is not about perfection. It is about intimacy with yourself, your journey, your truth. Each evening becomes a mirror, not to criticize, but to understand. Each night becomes a chance to plant a better seed for tomorrow. Even the Buddha reflected daily. He observed his mind. He watched his thoughts. He studied the causes of suffering, not just in the world, but within himself. This is the path of real growth, not in external achievements, not in accolades or check marks, but in quiet honesty, in the courage to look, and in the tenderness to say, I will try again tomorrow. As you close your eyes tonight, don't just fall asleep. Fall into awareness. Let go of what you no longer need. Keep what made you stronger. Rest in the peace that comes from knowing you are learning, you are evolving, you are walking the path. Not perfectly, but mindfully. And that is more than enough. A daily practice of awakening. Getting better every day is not about achieving more. It's not about building a tower of accomplishments or fixing every flaw. It's about remembering. Remembering that the present moment is sacred. that you are not here to chase, but to awaken. That the true path of growth in Buddhism is subtle, intentional, and rooted in awareness. It begins in the morning when you choose presence over panic. It continues with a single intention, held close like a prayer. It deepens when you interrupt unconscious patterns and create space for peace to emerge. It strengthens when you track your energy, not your hours, and work with your natural rhythm. It becomes sustainable when your environment reflects the stillness and clarity you seek inside. It transforms when discipline becomes your language of love, your daily vow to honor your own becoming. And it settles, like a final breath, in the gentle ritual of reflection, so that each day ends not in noise, but in wisdom. The Buddhist way to rise. In Buddhist teaching, transformation is never about sudden leaps. The lotus flower, so often used in Dharma, grows slowly, rising through murky waters, unseen, but beneath the surface, it is becoming, and when it finally blooms, it does so not with noise, but with quiet grace. So too, your awakening. These 7 practices are not hacks or shortcuts. They are sacred acts of self-respect. They do not demand perfection. They ask only for presence. And presence is powerful. When you live like this, you no longer measure success by how much you do, but by how deeply you live. You stop chasing the next thing and start meeting this moment. You move through the world not with hurry, but with humility. You become grounded, unshaken, aware. This is the quiet power of mindful living. This is what it means to get better, not through pressure, but through alignment. Come home to yourself. So today, right now, start where you are. You don't need to wait for a perfect plan. You don't need to have everything figured out. You don't need to become someone else. You simply need to begin. With one breath, one moment of silence, one intention, one choice to turn toward your true path. Let that be enough. Let this life become your practice. Let your body become your temple. Let your breath become your bell of mindfulness. Let your ordinary actions become offerings of peace. Because when you walk this way, not perfectly, but sincerely, something sacred begins to bloom. You begin to rise, not with strain, but with stillness. And as you rise, you carry others with you, not through force, but through presence. You don't need to change everything at once. You don't need to chase a better life. You only need to return, again and again, to the stillness already inside you. Each breath is a beginning. Each moment is a doorway. And each small, mindful act is a sacred offering to your future self. Thank you for walking this quiet path with me today. If this teaching has touched you, share it with someone you love. And if you'd like to receive more mindful wisdom and Buddhist reflections, subscribe and stay connected. May your mornings be peaceful. May your choices be wise. And may you keep rising, gently, steadily, in alignment with who you truly are. Until next time, be well and walk in peace.